we are splitting the data into training part and testing part, because as I said, the better model, if you want to achieve the better accuracy for better evaluation, we need to split our data into training part and testing part. You can write out without splitting it, but the better approach is you can split it. These are the variable names, and train, test, split. You are giving your input, the input, and x comma y, and test size you have given it as, so random state is equal to 1. So why the random state here? I'll clearly explain the simple example, because this plays a very key role. So random state is basically, used for reproducing the data, reproducing your same problem every time. That means if I run my model and I leave it, if I again reinstate without giving random state, I get different set of values. So what happens if you get different set of values? You may change your accuracy. If it is increasing, that is very good. But if it is of decreasing and increasing, it will lack some consistency. That is the reason random state is basically used for reproducing the problem same every time. Let me provide with a simple example. I have already initiated the train test split, right? So I'll take simple two variables, a comma b is equal to, for a I define np dot a range of, I give some 10 values with the format of numpy, and I need to reshape it accordingly. So reshape function is used to form a different kind of array accordingly, because possibility of 10 is 2 comma 5, 5 comma 2, 1 comma 10, 10 comma 1, different possibilities. And for b, you are defining the values, range of 5. So if I print both a and b, you see the output is print of a, print of b. You can see a is of 5 rows and 2 columns, obviously 5 rows and 2 columns. B is range of 5, that is 0 to 4. It is fine. Then what is the difference? When you go for train underscore test underscore split of, you are splitting your input into a comma b. You can see the output, the values will be splitted. See, this is the first set and this is the second set. You can see the value splitting 2, 3, 8, 9, 0, 1, 6, 7, 4, 5, and the b values are 1, 4, 0, 2, 3. If you again run the cell, you can see the different values again, 4, 1, 3, 2, 0. You can see 4, 1, 3. If you rerun it again by pressing shift enter or by pressing this cell 402, the values are consistently changing, which is not at all a good behavior. Then what I will do, I will go for assigning a parameter called as random state, a comma b comma. Random state you can assign for any value, but make sure you assign a value and you did not change it. So random state of 1. So these values are 40321. If you rerun it again, the values you can see those are not changing. That is the reason random state will reproduce the data same every time. That is the reason I have given random state is equal to 1. That is very, very important in machine learning. Then once random state is done, then the next step is you need to initialize your model. What is your model? This is a binary classification, right? So this step is initializing the model. So from sklearn, because sklearn is the library where you have all the regressors and the classifiers, you can directly import from sklearn dot. You can see some other suggestions. I am trying to give linear model because here my target is predicting the survived or not. 0 and 1. It's a binary, right? Only two categories. That is the reason I am using the first kind of classifier, which is logistic regression. Where logistic regression, it uses the principle of converting same y is equal to mx, that is a linear curve where you try to map only the output in the region of 0 to 1 with some threshold. If it is below the threshold, that is into one category. If it is above the threshold, that will be into another category. How can I relate the same thing to this data set? Because simple example, If the people who are traveling in the ship, if they are first class, if you have watched Titanic movie, the first class people will be provided with lifeboats. So person with lifeboats has maximum chances of surviving, right? Person traveling in third class will not be provided with lifeboats because the chances of survival will be less. That is the reason I am converting my entire data into numeric. That's where I use logistic regression. You can go for any kind of models, but the first thing is logistic regression, because in the next sessions we'll be using some other models. So first you have initialized the model, then you can need to call the entire functionality, logistic regression. So parenthesis plays a very key role. Then once you have initialized the model, you fit the data, because here I'll be using all of my variables, xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest. So x underscore train, comma, y underscore train. Always for fitting the data, you need to go for your training part. Once fitting is done, you can go for prediction directly. If you can directly run over here, you can see some default parameters. It will give some warnings and all these things. If you want to ignore these warnings, then we have some other library called as, you can import warnings and you can ignore those warnings. You can go for import warnings and you can filter those warnings, because you can avoid the warnings given by your collaboratory or your IPynb file or anything, whether you are using Jupyter or Spider or any kind of PyCharm or any kind of Python. Just by mistake it has been pressed. So filter warnings and you need to ignore it. See, now we can see the warnings are ignored. That is how the warnings can be ignored with the help of filtering. So once it is fitted, you can see the individual parameters. We don't initialize any of these parameters because C is the loss parameter and dual fit intercept is true, and n jobs will be using for training the hyperparameters and solver. I don't care of any of these parameters. I just leave as it is. My next step is to predict the data. For prediction, you always go for test data. So predictions is equal to log model dot predict function, because sklearn provides consistency, fit transform, predict. So fit transform is generally used when you are going for one hot encoding or label encoding, normalizing. So I need not use transformation here. I can directly fit my input data because I have done data cleansing with the help of pandas. So here I go for predicting the data, xtest. Xtest is your test data. For fitting you always go for input data. For prediction you can go for xtest. That means I can give some input values, I can predict. Let's go for it directly here itself. Before checking out the accuracy, log model dot predict of, always you should give the data in multi-dimension, because sklearn will always take the data in multi-dimension. So let me give any of the input. Let's see whether I can give the first one or second one values. It should give the output as 1. That means that specific person is survived. I need to give that thing. So let me copy here. For every value you need to separate with commas. You are trying to predict them, right? So 38.010 and 78.03, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So this is your input. If you want to see the result, you can print the variable. Let's see what is the answer. Array is 1. That means this specific person is survived. What is showing in the input data? It is showing the same thing. That's how your model is predicting in a better way. You can give any of the values. First, if you try to give the same values, because this is supervised learning, where we try to train with the data with the given set of values. If you want to see how much the accuracy and what is the classification report and how you can go with the confusion matrix, you can always take that thing from sklearn.metrics. Metrics includes calculation part. You need not do it anything manually. You can directly import from, see, I can give both confusion matrix, which will give you how many true values and how many, and you can also go for classification report. I'm giving all of them. For every classifier you can go on doing these steps. So I want to print my accuracy score. You can directly give out the functionality here because I have initialized it from the model from sklearn.metrics. For always giving out this metrics, you need to consider your y-test, because xtrain, xtrain and y-train is used for fitting the data. For prediction you have used x-test, and for accuracy you will be using y-test. So y-test comma predictions, right? So this is your input, and when you print it you can see, so it is giving you some error over there. Let me cross check it. It should not produce any error because y-test comma predictions, it is giving you found input variables inconsistent number of samples. If it is giving in that way, let me multiply it with 100 and let me cross check it. The same issue. Then what I can do, I can directly give, instead of giving this, I can go for log model dot predict of x test, right? Sometimes it may produce the inconsistency of values. No issues with that. You can directly give you the input array, because sometimes it may take the entire data, and sometimes it may, because you are giving the predictions here and you are giving some values, instead of directly giving, you can directly give log model dot predict of x test, or you can directly give predictions. No issues with that. See, into 100, that it gave you 83% of accuracy. That means you can calculate the accuracy directly with the help of confusion matrix. So for confusion matrix also, you can use the input as y-test and log model dot predict. No need to give 100 because accuracy is the percentage of calculation. Let me close the braces. You can see 144 are true positive values, 78 are true negative values, 22 and 23 false positive and false negative. If you 144 plus 78, if you add them, you get some value. That is 144 plus 78 is 222, and if you divide 222 with 144 plus 22 plus 23 plus 78, that is, I guess, 267. So 144 plus 22 plus 23 plus 78 is 267. That is 30% of 890. So if you try to give, if you do the average, 222 divided by 267, you get the same output, because accuracy is true positive plus true negative by summation of all the values. And if you want to see the entire result, you can go for classification report, because it generates the report classification underscore report. It will give you all the values. What is your accuracy? What is your precision? So out of this, 166 people are dead, 101 people are survived. 0 indicates not survived, 1 indicates survived. It has taken 267 values because I gave my test size as 30%. So finally your accuracy is 83%. Support will give you the average of values. Precision, you have the formula. Recall will give you the sum of true positive by all the values, and F1 score will give you the average of arithmetic mean of precision and recall, which you have all the formulas in the PPT, which will be in the description provided. So that's how we can get the total number of survived people is 101 and total number of unsurvived people is 166. If you try to change the test size, you can observe the better values. But the best splitting is 70-30 or 80-20. 80% of training data, 20% of test data. That is how for every model you can generate your accuracy score. Generally the accuracy score will be, if it is 60 to 70%, then that your model has learned in a better way. You cannot expect 90%, 100% clearly, because we are doing predictions. The more amount of data you feed, the more it learns. In general cases, you'll be having data in lakhs of values. For that, you'll be getting nearly 60% to 70%. That means our accuracy is good, right? This is the simple steps you'll try to build your simple machine learning model. So once our model is done, we need to build a simple mobile app for that with the help of this machine learning model.
I hope you have enjoyed watching it. If you have liked our content, please do hit like button and do subscribe to our YouTube channel for more useful content and exciting updates. If you want to learn such practical content at an affordable cost with Microsoft certification and instructor support, please register at academy.codenan.com. You can also download app from Play Store as Codenan. Never hesitate to raise queries in the comment section, and please do reply with your suggestions for more practical videos. We'll be happy to come up with it. Thank you.